Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakradash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you occupants out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity, by way of the highways and byways, going out in the streets teaching and preaching, and also by way of the internet. Shalom to you very few sisters that's out there listening and learning. Going back to the names, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father name. All right. Which means he is or he exists. By Hashem means coming in the name. And what the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is not Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. All right, his name isn't Yeshua, Yeshaya, Ashaya, Jesus Christos, Yehoshua. It's not none of that. All right. It is Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers. All right. So he is the savior or he is the deliverer. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people of the Bible. It's your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another lesson. This one really going to be pretty much quick. I'm going to let the video play, and then I'm going to come with a couple scriptures at the end. So this is for, because, you get people in this world, let's say like let's say if you're in a situation, you got two jobs. You got two jobs, you got your house, and you got, you got your girl, she doing a part-time job and stuff like that. And then let's say, back in the day, you was making a lot of money back then. You was making a lot of money. Let's say, $1,000 a week or $2,000 a week, $2,000 every 2 weeks, whatever the case may be, take you a long way. Spending $300 on groceries back in the day, you could fill up fucking 3 or 4 refrigerators. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that anymore. It's just not. And what's happening what's happening with the young men and women that's getting out of high school and trying to go into college. And once they get into college, which is another debt that they're putting themselves into, and then what they're realizing is, wow, I'm going to college. I'm going to college to try to become something. But then when they get out of college, after all the partying and after when the women has been whored out and slutted out and things like that, now they're inside of society and now they have to find a career. And now today they're not having the careers and they don't have the jobs. And now they're cutting jobs by the millions. They're shutting down factories by the hundreds of thousands. And so what you have is you got a lot of young folks that's not able to find jobs. And I'm just sticking on the young folks right now. The young folks are able to find these jobs. All right. They have, master degrees, all type of degrees for certain things that they went to school for. But it's either that if they do get the job that they was looking for, they're not paying enough. They're paying them starting off $17 an hour, when rent is $17 anywhere, depending on where you live. All right. Like I was in the area where I got a good ass deal. It was a ran down place, but fuck it. It was 2-bedroom, $750, $765 a month. All right. That was what it was, So I was used to paying $765, and then it go up, year and year go up, but then it went up to like $1,200. I'm not, now it's at $1,700, $1,500 to $1,700 for a decent looking apartment with all the amenities look nice, actually look decent for a 1-bedroom apartment, or even for a studio, $1,700, $1,200 to $17 to $2,500 for an apartment. And you can't afford that if you're working at Burger King, McDonald's, Walmart. You just can't do it. You need 2 people to do it. And a lot of these women, they're so focused on trying to have fun and do so many things out here. If you're a man, I'm speaking for a young man, if you out here trying to do things and, a lot of, it's just not possible, because you don't have the funds. You just simply don't have the funds. And then, if you do have a chick, if she is working 50-50 with you, you're barely getting past. Y'all like barely scraping. It's still kind of like a situation of, do I want to pay my phone bill this week or the Wi-Fi this week? So young people are, instead of getting apartments, what they're doing is, I'm sorry for the rambling, but what they're doing is starting to go back home with their families and find a part-time job or a little job, and then work at home, work from home or wherever the case may be. So then they don't have to worry about, um, you know, because they're already in debt. So they're actually just paying off their debt. And now they're wishing that they never even went to college to go get a degree, and that their family never even pushed them into going into college, because now they have a debt that they're never, ever going to be able to pay, because not only do they not have the ambition to be in that career field anymore, but they're not getting paid enough to be in that career field, even if they start to be in that career field. And everything is just going downhill. The dollar is dropping. Everything is fucked. Now going to the older people, and then with the younger people, they know what it is. They like, what the fuck is the point of me leaving one box to go be in another box, living that bitch by myself, because I know I ain't gonna get no girl, or a girl be like, I know I ain't gonna find no dude. So what's the point of that? What's the point of working just a slave? That's what a lot of people is thinking. That's what America is thinking in general. But going to the older people, older people, you have to realize that I'm gonna say this, if you're 45, 40, 45 and up, you don't you're not going to understand this, because 9 times out of 10, you probably got your own place, your own home. You already been had your things in the 80s, 90s, to early 2000s, maybe even around 2015 before COVID. You already got in. It's not like that for the young people. For the young people, the prices are tripled, the inflation is tripled, and the job loss is tripled. So when you talk to somebody that's young, and when you're like, why don't you have a job, and why can't you find a job, and you need to go get a job, and you keep on shooting them in the head with the job quota every single day, it's not doing nothing. Because if you ever was to just fucking take 1 second, go on TikTok or look on the computer of the news, do that for a good 2 or 3 days, and you will see why nobody has a fucking job. Okay? This world has went to complete shit. But, older people, they be like, well, only thing you got to do is just work harder. No, you don't. No, working harder don't get you anywhere. It actually get you down lower. It makes you more depressed. It makes you not want to do anything even more. Working harder is not the key. So if you're an older person and you're telling people to work harder, just be like, man, well, just work harder. It's really not like that, because jobs are closing. There is no jobs. The jobs that people do have, they're hanging on to, because they don't even know if their facility or where they go for work is going to close. They don't know that. That's why nobody is hiring. Okay. So when somebody just keep on asking you that question or something like that, just be like, hey, still on the look, haven't found anything. And then the young people, it's because Trump said that it was going to be $20 and upwards. You'll never trust the devil. Like I said, I'm just monologuing right now. Sorry for the long monologue, but hey man, if you're not making over $25 an hour, you're not going to survive as an adult, like at all. And I don't see even you surviving as an adult making $25 an hour. No, I'm just being completely honest. You will never have a home. You know what I'm saying? So unless you're some type of big ass millionaire, and a lot of young folks, even that's in the streaming community and got, a whole bunch of deals, $1 million deals, they're renting houses and they're owning cars, paying cash for cars and renting houses. They're not really, some of them are paying cash for the house. Like you pay cash for the house where you rent it, but you still got to pay taxes, and that's whooping people ass. So hopefully this video right here will give you a little bit more clarity. I think I got one more thing for the older people, because older people be like, well, what can I do if, because older people, y'all seeing that y'all did it and y'all made it, so y'all expecting for y'all children to, but we in different times. There's no way that he can do this by himself. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying, like, this place is just like terrible. If you could see like your son just working at like a factory job and living in like a cubicle, like a fucking box for the rest of his life, and if you think that that's him working, and if you want to say hooray to that, then whatever. But I think as a parent, you should look. You should you that shouldn't make or break. That shouldn't make your son or break your son or make your daughter or make your uh, or break your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got a son or a daughter and they're going to school, you told them to go to school. Now they're going to school. Then they get out of school. Now they can't find a fucking job, and you keep on telling them to get a job, and they can't find a job, and you keep telling them to get a job. What you gonna do? You just gonna kick them out into the streets, where a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people need help in the house as well. But hey, a lot of times, man, it's not that fault that that person in this world is. It ain't their fault. So, man, it's just things to think about. Why you be so hard on your youth, you need to think about what times you're in. You know, you really do. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and play this video.
What does the next decade look like with the generation of young men coming up trying to work their ass off that aren't seeing anything? The amount of people that are working hard, doing everything they can to put food on the table, put a roof over their head, provide for them and their family, and just them and their wife and their husband, whoever, is now in a world where if they work harder, they're not making enough money. And when they're not making enough money, they're being told it's because they're not working hard enough. They were able to do it. Grandma was able to do it. Uncle was able to do it. Sister-in-law was able to do it. Why can't you do it? Huh? You must not be working hard enough. You must not be doing it right. You need to stop being lazy. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. What's the mental health of this country going to look like in the next decade?
No. Didn't I just say that? Don't usually. Now look, I'm 29. I didn't been in, I'm just speaking from a little worldly aspect. I done damn near every fucking job imaginable. My very first job, I'm pretty sure with all the brothers or, who had a house or wherever the case may be, your first job was doing, landscaping around the house. All right. It was in and out, damn it, So you was inside and outside, meaning that you was cleaning up the inside of the house when you was little. You started off and then you went out. If you had your dad in your life or somebody to tell you go out there and make sure the yard was cool or show you how to do things, you went out there and made sure the yard was cool once a week, once every 2 weeks. Basically cutting, lawnmower and stuff like that. All right. Anything from landscaping to putting straps on 10,000 pound bundles of marble and lifting it up with a crane, with a crane. You know what I'm saying? I used to use a crane to working in retail, working online, working for private companies, working for everything, man. Customer service through the fucking roof. I did customer service jobs for so long. And the thing is, man, it don't matter if you get 2 jobs. It don't matter if you get 3 jobs. The thing at the end of the day, you're not going to find peace. There is no peace because they're just going to work you like a robot. And that's the thing too. That's why they got all these robots coming in so they can replace us. Of course, y'all know this. But speaking more to the older people, you got these robots that's coming in taking over the young people's jobs. So when you ask them why don't they have a job, be like, well, ask Trump. The fuck? Don't get mad at me. It's not my fault. If I'm putting in, I just ran across somebody that put in 200. I think he said he put in 200 apps within, I don't even know. Like it was something ridiculous, like 200 apps, like within like the past 2 months. Said he had 20 interviews and still no job. I seen another young man. He was like, I had I've been unemployed for 3 years. I've been putting in applications every day and I still can't find a job. Ever since COVID, it has been shit. So anybody that's telling you, um, because they're telling you to get a job, you older people got to understand that this dollar is about to go. So you telling people to get a job and stuff like that, it's understandable because everybody be needing help. But if they're not able to find one, you can't blame them. You can't blame the person that you gave birth to. All right.
This continues. We already have the highest level of mental health, lowest levels of mental health amongst the Gen Z and young millennials that I believe historically has ever been registered. I don't know how long we've been studying that, but it's not good. Since COVID, it's not good. And now we're in a world where you have to make $128,000 to live comfortably in a home in America, according to the Wall Street Journal, where you have to make over $100,000 just to get to the point, honestly, if you're in a relationship with a home to cover your bills.
See, so he said 100, 120,000. Some places be 250. You might be able to be in the hood for about 60. Close to it for about 60. You might, probably in the hood for about 60. Houses in the hood be like 60 anyway. But yeah, man, so it's depression, inflation. And then he was talking about, hey, man, then if you're trying to get a family or have a girl, don't even talk about that. Trying to get a girl nowadays is fucking over with. There's no virgins. Every woman is tainted and don't want to adhere to the man that she was presented to, and she is with in a relationship with. How you gonna be in a relationship with a man but you can't follow and obey orders? It don't make no fucking sense, man. But then they're not virgins, of course. They're already tampered with and they belong to somebody else. So it's better off for a dude just really just being like, you know what, I'm just gonna stick to myself, just wait on the kingdom. Just wait on Yahweh Shem Yahushua to come back, man. Then I just have my pick of the litter, Lord willing, by the end. Because even if you do get the relationship, if you have the kid, because the woman is already a stress part of the relationship and a blessing. It can be both. But if you get the kid, now you got to pay. Now you got, that's another mouth to feed. So yeah, like I'll let you know like some real shit. Like right now, I've probably been fasting. Like when I say fasting, I mean like I've been dieting and fasting for about just because of money. I've been dieting and fasting for about and because not everything good for you. Maybe ever since COVID, ever since like 2019, 2020, I've been fasting. So I've been fasting for about 5-6 years. So I go like a whole day, just like eat like one meal, that'll be it. Have some water, maybe a piece of fruit, and I'll be cool. You guys are really going to have to start getting used to that. I'm going to get the scriptures at the end of this, but you're going to have to start getting used to that because the times that we're moving into are going to be bad. Not everything is going to last. All right. When that MOTB come out, they already got in Vietnam. 86 million banks was 86 million banks to the citizens of Vietnam was seized. All right. Because they didn't want to put in that because they didn't want to I guess go with digital imprint. So it's out here, you know what I'm saying? So you putting your son in college is a death wish. You telling your son or daughter to go do what they want to do in life is a death wish. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, man. We live in some dark times. If you're not a man of the Lord, man, of a household, and if women not coming to flock towards you, everybody's fucked. Whoever not underneath you, hopefully they be with somebody else, but they gonna have to be with some man in the Lord because if they not, they gonna die, man. Because the Lord only looking out for his elect in these days. So yeah, man. But that was it with with that.
Not thriving, not saving, not investing, not growing, not gaining assets, not facilitating a lifestyle that you're going to be proud of in the land of opportunity with your hard workedness. No, you'd be getting by. And I'm just going to be very real with you. As a real estate agent who been doing this for 8 years now, I served in the military. I went overseas. I fought in Afghanistan. I did the thing for this country. I'm sick. I'm sick of what this country is doing right now. Continuing to gaslight this next generation into thinking the opportunity is still there. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, the land of opportunity is not opportune right now. If you are looking in the mirror at yourself wondering what you're doing wrong, let me look into your camera and tell you you're not. Let me tell you, there are so many millions of young, hardworking men and women in our country right now that are not reaping the benefits that the past generations reaped. You are not dumb. You are not non-special. You are not doing it wrong. You are working hard, 40, 50, 60 hours, you and your significant other, maybe hundreds of hours of work a week.
And I've been there, man. I'm talking about every brother been there. Every brother worked their motherfucking back out and been like, you know what, man, I gotta let this other job go. Cause this shit too stressful. It come to a point that it don't even really be stressful in your mind, you know, cause I was one of them dudes, you know, when I was working, you know, a lot, like heavy, um, like 2-3 jobs, just doing too much shit, going home, smacking out on the girl, drinking, going to sleep, waking up, going back to them 2-3 jobs, you know what I'm saying? Going back to the crib, out of energy, still got to smack down on town, drinking, still got to do all this other shit, dude. Like, it's a fucking lot, bro. So, like, when you get about 2 or 3 jobs, the mental capacity was just like, hey, it is what it is. Like, you just got to try to keep yourself up, you know. And a lot of people, hey, man, a lot of people be doing this stuff. A lot of people be on these jobs and stuff like that trying to stay up, man. They be on drugs, you know. I can attest to that. You know, I had to get me some liquor up in my body because I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to fucking make it. Like, I have to make this job some type of fun. Otherwise, I will be fucking drained. You know? It's either, it was either that or it was just like, man, I just had that, you know, usually I just had that go in me. You know, I just give me some water and shit and just chill out. But sometimes, man, I used to have to go in the car and take me a shot. Like, you know, fuck. So, yeah.
Within your household, and you still feel like you can hardly afford to raise your child? That's not fair. And no, I'm not a socialist, Marxist, communist, blah, blah, blah. It's simply not fair. I understand we're in a free market. I understand capitalism means work hard, get money, have all this opportunity to do something with your life because you have this freedom. This freedom. We always have freedom. Oh, free market, capitalism, yay, money. 74.6% of the money is in the top 10%'s hands. 32% of it's in the top 1%'s hands. I believe it's over a quarter percent in the top 0.1%. I just don't see what the next decade looks like if this continues. If nothing systemically shifts, if nobody actually makes change, if the political system of blue and red keep us fighting, oh my gosh, that person's right, no, that person's right, no, you're a racist, no, you're a liberalist, no, and then they give you all your sports teams, and they give you your Netflix subscription, and they give you all of these things that keep us entertained, and all these, I just find myself now, I'm a huge sports fan, by the way. Every commercial, I'm seeing alcohol.
Yeah, because what they doing is they feeding you bread and circuses. They look, your life not going nowhere. It's not going to get better. So here goes some bread and circuses. All right, here goes some entertainment. So you can sit down, shut the fuck up, don't say anything while we completely destroy this fucking place and make you guys follow what we have going on. And you old niggas just don't understand that. This is Proverbs 22:7. It says the rich, because he was going into, like, you know, the poor and all that. It says the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. That was Proverbs 22:7. All right. 2 seconds. I want to see what it say in the NLT. It says, just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. And that's what you got going on. All right. And he's talking about all these bread and circuses and stuff like that. Yes, it's media. You know, all that satanic shit to keep you at a low vibration. I guess that's what people say. You know, when the only thing when what you should be doing if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American is look into who you are, what's the history behind that, and what's the prophecies of today and what's going on.
Sexual immorality and gambling. Alcohol, sexual immorality, and gambling. And then I get to a game, and then in the game, they're like, hey, you should gamble more of your money. Hey, you should bet on this. Hey, you should do that. All just to get us to argue about which team is better, because my team is better than your team. And that gives us some water cooler talk to get us past our 9 to 5 and our 40-hour work week to continue to be the ants of the colony that keep everything rolling. It just seems like more and more the opportunity to escape the working class slavery that we are put into by the billionaires and trillionaires of our world is becoming inescapable. What will be the effects of what we're going through right now? I don't claim to know what that result is going to be, but I'm just going to go out and flat say it. I don't believe things like home prices have a chance of crashing. In fact, if you were to tell me, do you think home prices will crash or do you think home prices will double? I think home prices double much more easy than home prices crashing. And you say, why do you talk about home prices? Well, because that is the gateway drug to wealth in America. If you don't own assets, you will never get your ass in a class that you want to be a part of. You will never escape being broke. Guess what the net worth difference between homeowners and non-homeowners is in America? $396,000 average median net worth of somebody who owns a home, $10,000 average median net worth of someone who doesn't own a home. Asset ownership is the key to unlocking equity, which is unlocking wealth for you and the rest of your family. If you don't have it, you won't grow. And if you can't get into your first one, you'll never.
And that's the illusion, because the only thing a house does is put you into debt. Now, I ain't gonna say into debt, but if you got a $250,000 house and you like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this down to my kids and stuff like that. Okay, I can see that, but I can see that. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, nowadays, it's just nowadays, like at this day, this present day, dude, do not be buying no houses, yo. Rent. It's better to rent. I'd rather for you to rent somewhere, just go ahead and sign off on a paper. Yeah, I'm renting for 2 years, just to let them know. I'm here for 2 years. Don't even say a year. I'll be like, man, I'm here for 2 years. All right, but let's get to these scriptures, and now I'm about to close. I didn't mean to keep y'all for 30 minutes. But you see, man, what's going on? There is no fucking jobs, yo. I'm tired of people acting like it's just a billion jobs out here and it's not anything at all. And it's always the older motherfuckers that think, you know, it gotta be something out here. It gotta be something. And if it is something, nigga, what he getting that job for? If you get somebody, I mean, you know, it's to help out, man. But man, them fucking pennies, man. They gonna drop this bitch in a little bit anyway. I don't even see. You know, and now, you know, if you a dude, man, you know, of course, and if you got your own crib and you got your own job, and, you know, just, you know, hey, man, you're gonna have to lock in onto that, because in a minute, you probably ain't gonna have that. Being honest, all them jobs and shit, that shit about to stop. Oh yeah, this is where I wanted to go to. I'm gonna get it in the I'll get in the KJV. I only got 2 scriptures, then I'm gonna close. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." Okay, so what you have is you got all the jobs. All right, there is no jobs. The job rate is complete. We're in a fucking recession. The job rate is completely fucking down. All right, it's completely fucking toasted. The inflation is through the roof. All right, because when because it says the doors, it says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets." So it ain't no hiring. It ain't like, it ain't like, it's not like people, it's not like jobs, a whole bunch of jobs was cut and the jobs that's left are the jobs that's hiring the most. No, those jobs aren't even hiring because they're putting new policies and things like that uh into their company. All right. So they have to go by things of the state, what the state passes down. That's how that has to go. So there is no working and hiring and all that. All right. It says, "When the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." The music is completely fucking trash, dude. Terrible. Terrible. I hear better beats. Beats. I hear better beats on TikTok than I hear rap on the fucking radio. That shit is demonic. But yeah, it says, "Of the house shall tremble." Now, why would, if you ever think in verse 3, when it says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease," become because you ain't got no work, ain't no food in the house coming in. You don't have no bread. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can I support my family? That's why I was saying, if you a brother and you got kids and stuff like that, I'll rock to Zah, Lord willing, y'all Bashim y'all shot got your back. You know what I'm saying? That's, of course, you know. But us brothers not as much worried than compared to brothers that's not even, you know what I'm saying, that don't know nothing about this. But let me get my last one. I'm gonna close. And I don't know what the fuck they've been doing on my YouTube. I'll try to upload like 5 videos. 5 of them will go up, and then I'll try to upload some ones that's like really like on point, like some news that just came out, like some super shocking news, and they just like clip my shit and be like, "No, you can't put it up." And they'd be like, "You gotta re-verify your age restriction so we can see how old you are. So you gotta verify your age again." I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll take another 6-second video." They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you already took it already." Okay. Then they say, if you take a picture of your ID though, I'm just letting y'all know about this YouTube shit. If you take a picture of your ID, matter of fact, let me get this in the NLT. If you take a picture of this, if you take a picture of your ID, then you talking about they can lock, then they can have it. But if something go wrong on YouTube policies or whatever, they can keep your ID just in case they gotta bring it up later in court or something. Man, you got me fucked up. Look, you can scan this face, nigga, and that's all you gonna get. I'll create another YouTube channel. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3 in the NLT. It says, "Remember him before your legs, the guards of your house, start to tremble." It says, "And before your shoulders, the strong men stoop. Remember him before your teeth, your few remaining servants stop grinding. And before your eyes, the women looking through the windows, seeing dimly. Remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed and the sound of work fades. Now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint because there is no more work." Okay. Oh, let me get this before I get that last verse. So I got these two last ones. This is for what's this? Second Ezra 9:1, it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, which is uproars everywhere, it's crazy how you get people in your everyday life. They go to work, they come home, they look at the news, but it's like they're not really looking at the news. They're just focused on the hamster wheel. You know, here it is around the whole fucking world is going fucking bonkers right now. But you're like, oh no, go ahead and keep on going for your career path. What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid motherfuckers, dude? I can't stand you idiots. Anyway, verse 2, it says, Then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right. And we told him, kept on telling y'all that. I'm just going to go to verse. And we keep telling y'all, motherfuckers. Go down to verse 11. I'm going to go down to verse 9. It says, Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, which are these Israelites today and these heathens, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Yeah, it's talking about the Israelites, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they have not and they have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. And when we be like, you know, motherfuckers worried about you working, how about you worry about repenting and getting your life right, getting your body right, getting right with your true power? You motherfuckers don't think about that. Verse 12 says, the same must know it after death by pain. And that's what's going to happen. Thermonuclear destruction. Let me get this last verse and we're going to close. Like what I said, I wasn't even trying to be this long. I got another video too, but it was probably gonna be this the Issachar dude. And Lord willing, man, this video will go up too, cause they've been fucking with me lately. It's like they don't let me upload past 5 videos or some shit. I'm gonna start at 2. This Wisdom of Solomon. I mean, not Wisdom of Solomon, Slakia. This Proverbs 29:2 in the NLT. It says, When the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, they groan. Okay? They groan. And these people are groaning. All right, let's just go to tools right here. We can get into different. Let's get into KJV. KJV, it says, Proverbs 29:2, it says, When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And that's what the people doing. They mourning because the dollars fucking fell. You can't get anything with it. Gas is all the way up. Everything is skyrocketed. People's health is fucked up. They can't get the medicine. This place is gone. All right. Trying to look for another one. What the AMP say? It says, When the righteous are in authority and become great, the people rejoice. But when the wicked man rules, the people groan and sigh. Yep, that's what they do. They groan and sigh. All right. So next time, elders, be before you be trying to run down on the young folks and stuff, make sure you check your economic activity. Make sure you check like the economy before you're telling young folks to apply to 1,000 jobs that they never gonna be able to have a house or a children or a family or any type of success rate in this society. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might want to reanalyze You know what I'm saying? You might want to reanalyze the question you're going to ask the young folks. Or maybe you might want to ask a question to the young folks. Why is it so hard to find these jobs? And he'll tell you the same thing that I'm telling you. Young folks that's out there, since I'm in the middle, I'm damn near 30. Young folks, they saying if you can get a job, like what I said, keep on trying to get the job. You know what I'm saying? Always try to get a job. If you a man, it's your job. Always try to get a job. Always try to do right around the house. Make sure your people's cool. All that good stuff. Y'all Bashim Yahweh Shai is first. All right. So you know this. But that's basically about it. Just keep on looking for a job. You can't find nothing. Fuck it. It is what it is. Like what the scripture say, it says, don't say, let me see. Salaki, I'm trying to see if I can find this scripture. Deuteronomy. I'll just get it right here. Because at the end of the day, you still got to do this. Let me get this in the KJV. This is Exodus 20:12. It says, honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long upon the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee. All right. I didn't mean to go to 26. I'm tweaking. This is Deuteronomy 5:16. It says, honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord Yahweh thy power hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee. All right, so always supposed to honor your mother and your father. You know what I'm saying? As a I'll get another one. It's Proverbs 23:25. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice. Let me see. I had another one though. Oh yeah, it's right here. Verse 22, Proverbs 23:22. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Okay. So it's still, and let's go to the word despise. And here, let's see what they say for the word despise. It's in the Hebrew, say buzz.
Strong's H 936. Booze.
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 To despise, hold in contempt. Hold as significant. To despise, show despite towards. All right. To despise, kindred to. All right. To trample with the feet. Like, man, fuck out of here, motherfucker. Which is applied to contempt. Right. All right. Don't despise. Let's get a regular definition. Because you're supposed to honor your father and your mother, but man, when you in this truth, if they going off, they just going the fuck off. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even when you know what I'm saying, even if you are a father, You know what I'm saying? You might be 50 years old in this truth. And if your son tell you going to fuck off, and if you fact check it, you go through the scriptures and everything align up with the facts and everything, hey, nigga, you going off. We go to this, despise. All right, despise. Despise, it says to look down on. See? Like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't nobody listening to you. Type shit. Like, don't despise, man. Disrespect. All right, don't disrespect your peoples. You know, that's what you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? But if they going off, they going off. Let them know. You know, be like, hey, man, I heard your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I understand completely what you said. And I understand what you're asking me to do. Whatever the case may be, like, hey, I'm just going to keep on looking. Just whatever you can do, just keep that shit at a bay. Because, you know, just keep on searching, bro. Just keep on searching. Let them know that, you know, you staying informed. But other than that, stay linked with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Then for you women that's out there, you young women, you know, hey, stay with your family. You ain't no reason, really no, you know, if you could find like a little part-time job doing your little girly thing, go ahead. You know, but man, we come to the days that there's not about to be no jobs and y'all about to try to figure out how to get water. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Until next time, Shalom.